Let's chat life after corporate. What does it look like?
I'm feeling grateful for my life right now. This has definitely been a symptom of working for myself.
I couldn't hide who I was or dim my light that much just to fit in. Deep down, I knew that like the dream would be to do this all day. The life I'm living today, I didn't even think that was possible. Most of our life should be an adventure trying to figure out what our thing is. Quitting is underrated. You should be failing in your 20s more than you're succeeding. So let's get into some boiling questions. The reality is, it's like, okay, how the hell am I gonna do this with no money?
Oh my god. Guys, this morning I'm just feeling worser and worser. I apologize for my sick voice. I just woke up with a sore throat yesterday and I'm leaving to New York tomorrow for like 3 days. Catskills, so like basically the woods, for a work trip. And of course the sickness wants to hit me like 2 days before, so I have like almost zero time to heal. But you know what? I'm just so like, I'm not even trying to be like dramatic or whatever, but like I'm just so happy lately that like I care but I don't care that much. I'm just like, you know what, at least I have a few days, you know. I'm just feeling I'm feeling grateful for my life right now, and I hope this continues. But this has definitely been a symptom of working for myself and just like kind of creating my own life. Like, I don't know, I just feel lucky, and especially since we moved into this place, which I still need to get a moving vlog up. I'm sorry. I think it's because I've officially decided to like go all in. Like, I was mentally kind of like, okay, I was kind of dancing with the idea of entrepreneurship earlier this year, and then April 2023 I left my full-time client, which was my biggest client. And I had before had multiple clients, if you want to watch my freelance video, but I cut it down to just one. And then 3 or 4 months later she was like, yeah, so we have to wrap up, we gotta cut costs. So I was said cost, I was like, okay, I could either try to find more jobs or use this as a sign that I need to just do my own thing finally. And I had been already creating content a lot on TikTok, but I hadn't really committed to like YouTube, like my overall brand, like other platforms. And from, I would say like April to May to basically August, I was still exploring. I was unsure, trying to figure out what my brand is, what my message is, my mission. And I was working on a course, and it's a content course about going from someone who doesn't see themselves as a creator or who can't post physically to being able to post easily, have ideas easily, have a system, have a process. But this month I really felt just more at home with it, and so much so that I've had one client for the past 6 months, and she was the only client I said I was allowed to have because it would be enough to keep me alive and paying the bills. And I think we're gonna have to let that one go too. A day like this where I'm sick and I have a trip coming up would not be exciting or fun if I was in corporate. My 9 to 5 was just so draining that like if I was sick, I was just like movies, bed, chill all day. But it's so funny, yesterday I got sick and I felt like I wanted to stay in bed, but I still got like most of my to-do list done. The sick day was actually kind of fun. I was like, minus the symptoms of being sick, like being sick was fun. That would have never been the case with my 9 to 5. Like, I would be miserable physically and miserable mentally because I'd be like, oh my god, I have to move all these meetings, when am I gonna get to this? Like, this would throw me off so much. These eye patches are always sliding and I refuse to stop wearing them. I'm dressed. I never really feel like wearing jean shorts. This is kind of random for me, but I decided on some jean shorts, this shirt from Target, and a cardigan because it's like summer fall. The weather is getting summer fall. I think this is the last time I'll be able to wear jean shorts, so I'm wearing them. Okay, it's time to take the meds. All right, let's get into it while I do my morning skincare. You may be wondering, like, why are you filming this when you're sick? Again, if it was any other job, if I wasn't working for myself, I would not film. But I don't know, I felt like this was the reality of my day, and this video is about the realities, and this is a very real, unexpected thing that could happen. I actually feel motivated to film. I actually do feel motivated to keep up my schedule anyway. Lately, my schedule's been like I say nice balance between getting structured work done and like having an actual routine, actually having a morning routine that I enjoy. Kind of what you saw here, but what's on the schedule for today? Let's look at the agenda. Okay, it's currently 8:55. I was supposed to have completed everything, but I woke up a little bit later. I woke up at 7:30. I was supposed to be filming this video, which is what you're seeing here. And then I typically do a little bit of journaling. So I do my 5-minute journal, which right after I do my skincare, I'm gonna do that. So sometimes I do it in different orders. So morning routine generally consists of some variation of skincare, dressing up, journaling, breathing, and then I do another type of journal. Like within the journaling, I do my 5-minute journal, and I do something called the Purpose 30. By the way, Tear sent me this toner and this moisturizer, and my skin has never felt more moisturized in my life. Like, I'm sick and I feel like my skin does not look like don't answer that, but compared to what I'm used to, it does not look like sick skin. Purpose 30, and it basically helps you just think about your future. I love that because I'm all about the future self. Thinking about your future self more often so that you can start to become her or him or they. And then the last thing I typically do is a morning walk. So I'm sure any minute now Shaheen's gonna come in and tell me he's gonna go for a walk. We typically go on a walk together. Oh my god, booger check. Ew, the nose is cleared up. Sorry if I flashed you. After our walk, I really want to finish packing for my trip. It's gonna be at her home. It's a retreat for a program she's putting on, which is gonna be really fun. My flight is at like 6:30. It like leaves at 6:30. So we're gonna have to drive to the airport at like 3 in the morning. And this is not great because I'm sick and I need to be getting rest. But it's so interesting looking at my schedule now, because before I would just simply wake up, work, and then try to escape, binge TV, binge like food, go to sleep. I remember there were times where I would wake up literally like 6 or 7 a.m. because I had a lot of like global people that I worked with, so they would have different time zones that wouldn't overlap with ours very well, and I would pull up my laptop from like in the dark, pull it out, start working, and then I would just keep doing that until 5 or 6 p.m. and it was not healthy. And I think that's because I did not understand. I've said this many times, like, I quit my job. I don't really love the idea of corporate. It's not for everyone. It is for some people though. It just wasn't for me because I also chose a field that I just was doing for the sake of society. People told me to do it and I thought, yeah, let's do it, but it just wasn't, it didn't fulfill me personally. But after I quit, I really had to develop a real routine, and I didn't have one. I know that sounds like kind of crazy, and it's like, why didn't you have anything going on? But like, when I was thrown out of college, I was leaving with no realistic adult routine. I had a college routine, but I did not have an adult real world routine without corporate, because I went right from college. Few months later, I was in corporate. If you don't kind of occupy yourself with things that keep you grounded, you will start to psych yourself out and quit. And that kind of happened. I had like, I would say a good like 10 breakdowns about if I'm gonna make it, what I'm gonna do next. And I was very focused on outcome and results because that was validating me. That was telling me, oh, if you got this many likes on TikTok, if you got this many likes on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, you are going on the right path, you're doing the right thing. But I think the trick is you have to believe that first and believe it hard, like really believe it, and I think then the results come. Also diversifying my schedule, diversifying the activities I do. I work at home, work at a coffee shop, you know, sometimes I work from bed, like if I'm having a sick day. Diversifying that and also diversifying my platforms has helped incredibly with my schedule. It makes me feel like I am actually doing multiple things and I am actually being the, you know, entrepreneur that I want to be. Honestly, it just keeps it more interesting because I work from home. I'm like my only coworker except for Shaheen, and I need to keep myself like intrigued because you don't have that kind of structure or built-in friends or coffee shops or shopping centers when you're working for yourself. Okay, I think the meds are hitting, so I need to eat something, and I have some leftover chai mixture that I made, so I'm gonna froth that up. Maybe some potato salad too, even more random. Oh my god, look what I made. I did not expect it to turn out like that, but I did a cold froth and then I did a hot froth. Kind of looks good. I forgot to put syrup, so I'm gonna put some maple syrup to make it sweet. So I'm gonna pause for a sec just to show you. We kind of went over like the big blocks of the day, but in terms of to-dos, this is what I use. This is the productivity planner, but it's like a weekly pad instead of like a journal. I need to work on my blog. I need to publish that today or probably tomorrow. I need to film a kind of UGC style video for a shoe brand company that I work with. Yesterday I could not film at all. I was like so out of it. And arguably today I feel worse, but I kind of want to start editing my next YouTube video. I need to finish up some work for my client that I'm going to be traveling for tomorrow. I had another gifted collaboration I did with a beauty brand, so I have that filmed and everything. I just need to edit it and post it. Of course, I need to pack. I'll probably do that after I get back from the walk. Like I told you about my course, my content course, I have another testing group going through that at the end of this month, or basically the beginning of October. So I need to like outline everything I need to do to get them prepared. I have a lot to do today, and if I'm lucky, I'll get to touch my podcast. Oh my god, my chais are actually good. I'm like shocked. I am back from my walk, and I also had a call with my client. She wanted to check in on me and see how this illness is going, and she requested, which rightfully so, that I take a COVID test. So I'm gonna take a COVID test, see if I have COVID. I don't think so. My temperature wasn't super high. I mean, I could be surprised. We don't know. I need to take this, so let's do this together. Oh, there's like a digital results. Do I have to do that? I gotta download an app and all that shit. I hate reading instructions, honestly. Cover the instructions. Oh, they're smart. This thing is actually expired. Okay. I have more tests. Let's see if I can get another one. Alrighty, COVID test was a fail. All of our tests are expired, so I'm gonna have to go to CVS and do a test there. So I thought I would do it on my way to the nail salon, just because I'm already gonna be out. I don't know if you still need to schedule them. It's been so long. I don't know if I actually have to pay for this. I don't have insurance anymore. Yeah, I wonder if I could just buy tests, because it says like the in-person test is like 70 bucks, and I don't have insurance anymore. One harsh reality of working for yourself, there's no insurance. So you can get insurance, but it's extremely expensive, and the last time I looked, it was like $500 a month for like a shitty healthcare plan. So I also live in the US, so that's another reason why. Anyways, I'm gonna start packing now. I'm just delusionally wishing that I don't have COVID. So I'm really just gonna try to do a carry-on and not a checked bag. It's gonna be chilly, kind of like fall, cozy weather. So I'm trying to do a mix of like looking cute, like slaying while I'm sick. Obviously I don't have as much energy, so let's just sit on the floor. I'm like out of breath. I went downstairs to go get my base travel cubes, which help a lot. So let's get into some boiling questions. I was really inspired to make this video by Tapioca Press. I believe that's her name. I'll put her in her video here, the exact video that inspired me to kind of create this one. I love how she laid everything out, and I related way too hard to everything she said. One point that she brought up, which is, why do you do it? Why did you quit with no plan? Why did you go after this dream? Like, why was it so important? And that's one thing I felt very strongly at the time about, because I was like, why am I the only one who can't do it? Everybody else is like, yeah, they hate it or they don't really like it, but they're able to keep going. Why can I not keep going? And one thing I thought of that basically answers this question, and she described so perfectly, is that it is literally hard to coexist with the opposite of freedom and creativity, which are my values and what I believe in and what makes me happy in life. I know I'm the best, I'm the happiest, I thrive the most, I work the hardest when I feel authentic, when I'm vulnerable, when I'm being myself, when I'm being creative, when I'm having fun. And every time I go into the office or every time I talk to someone, I feel drained, I feel less creative, I feel more restricted, I can't be myself. I couldn't hide who I was or dim my light that much just to fit in. And in the beginning, it was worth it. I didn't even think about all of those feelings as like that important. I'm like, yeah, so what? You don't get to have the most fun, or yeah, you're not the most creative, but like,
I was like, you're still getting paid a lot. I was making probably around 65K a year at the time in 2019. To me, that felt like a lot. Felt like I was kind of thriving. I had a good job. I had a comfortable apartment. I had friends. I had a car. I had everything I had been told you're supposed to want and get at this age. So I was like, I'm doing everything right, but it didn't feel right internally. And it took me some time to realize that. It didn't hit right away. It took me about, I would say, a year in. And then around COVID, literally March of 2020, I started to, it really hit me. There was one day I was at a leadership conference, and I talked about this in my I Quit video. But there was one day at that conference where I was like looking at all these VPs, and I was supposed to feel so special to be around them and to be in this area. I could tell the people around me felt really special by being there and being around all these higher executives. And I just looked at everybody. I was like, I don't want to be this. I don't want to do this. Like, this wouldn't make me feel cool. If I was them, if I was me, if I was a little bit higher than the role I had, I just wouldn't be fulfilled. And I could see my non-future in them. And I was like, I have to go. And it took me from March of 2020 to October of 2020 to actually pull the trigger. During that period, I would say from March to October, I started to realize and question why I was feeling this way. And eventually I came to the conclusion that I knew I wanted a life where I could document it, I could live it, I had the freedom to go where I want, do what I want. I started to fall in love with YouTube videos and making YouTube videos and TikTok. That's when I really started to get into content creation. And I had never done content creation seriously for myself or for other people until I started my YouTube channel. Deep down, I knew that like the dream would be to do this all day, make content all day, edit all day. When you are hating most of your life and then there's a little hour or two of your day where you feel on fire, like amazing, you start making more room to feel that amazing feeling. Because I didn't even know there was a difference before I was creating. I didn't know that you didn't have to hate what you were doing all day. I thought that was very normal, and I was content with that. Like, I was like, yeah, I don't really like my job. I think it's boring. I don't really care about it that much, but I care about doing a good job, and that's normal. That's how you're supposed to be. Like, no one enjoys their job all the time, which is true. But the life I'm living today, I didn't even think that was possible. And I know my future, I've always known my vision was to be an entrepreneur, have my own businesses, have my own brand. And in a way I was like, oh yeah, I'm working corporate now. I was like 22. And I was like, I'm working corporate now, but like when I'm in my 30s or my 40s, I'll start the business. I'll eventually, you know, get into it. When I was working at corporate, I wasn't working on how that was going to happen. It was just like, how am I going to survive in my job right now? How am I going to be the best so I look the best, so I don't look stupid, so I don't feel imposter syndrome? I was basically just trying to fight a lot of negative feelings, and I wasn't moving towards positive feelings at all. When I was freelancing, I had more room, but I still was like, I had so many clients that I didn't have that much time to like really work on my own stuff, and I was still developing skills. Now that vision has gotten clearer and clearer. Oh wait, somebody's calling me. Yeah, I was actually gonna ask because I just got off my insurance, so I don't have it anymore. I just got a call from CVS, and they were like, yeah, it's gonna be $100, so you might as well just get it at home test. And I was like, okay, cool. Now that I'm working for myself, since May of this year, 2023, I've just had so much more time to reflect on my vision, which if you want to be a creator or entrepreneur, I highly suggest just making time to dream about your vision, not in a way that you hate your current life, because that's not good either, but you almost need to kind of hate something about your life, like, or really fall in love with the future version of yourself or the life you want to have. I know I want businesses focused on luxury and freedom and authenticity and having fun, because I just don't see it enough in the world. Like, most people are not truly happy or fulfilled or doing something that's so unique and custom to them, and I always hated that. Like, I always was so confused why that wasn't the case. I'm like, we're all adults, we have freedom to do what we want. Like, yeah, it's gonna be rocky and hard, and maybe you're gonna be confused, but like, most of our life should be an adventure trying to figure out what our thing is, and I just don't see that enough. So I've always had like just a vision of an abundant life, and I think it's so possible. I kind of don't care what people say about like being realistic. I don't think so. I think we can have everything we want. I have quit a lot of things more than I've stayed, and I think quitting your way to success, playing your way into success is the key, and I can't show physically how that's true yet, but I feel better, I feel happier, I feel more aligned, and that's my proof that I'm going in the right direction. So if you are not feeling aligned to something and you're looking or waiting for evidence, the evidence is in your feeling, your energy, your mood, your focus, your excitement, because your body reacts to your environment. Your body will let you know. I was constantly anxious. My body was sweating every time I entered that office, every single day for like a year and a half. And I interned there, so like almost 2 years. I was like nervous in a way that I always felt like I was about to go over an edge. I don't know what that was. I can be confident, but I'm so much more confident when I'm being myself, and I don't think I could be. Like, you can't talk about certain things. There would be people looking at you or watching you every time you walked into the office, or tracking what time you walked in. Like, it was very, very like strict, but not strict, but like, we're watching you, but not really. I don't know if that was everyone's experience, but that's how I felt, and I just knew it wouldn't work for me. And I knew at some time with freelance as well that this just wasn't going to get me closer to the goal. And again, I was going based on my feelings. I love social media. I love helping people with their brand. I love getting down to like what they want to talk about in their message. But I knew through constant like content calendar management and graphic creation and just like the basic weeds of social media management, I wasn't getting closer to my goal or their goal. And I love how transparent Tapioca Press was. I don't even know her name. I don't even know if that's what I should be calling her, but I love how transparent she was about money and making money. And the reality is, it's like, okay, how the hell am I going to do this with no money? Let's see. I love to be extremely transparent about my earnings and just about everything. I think we should, again, huge on authenticity, huge on just being honest and open, because it helps the next person. Whenever I left my corporate job, I was making around $65,000 a year. I left with $6,000 in my bank account, and I made that stretch for like 6 months. It wasn't like I was holding on to just that money and using that money and it was diminishing. I also took on little gigs. I worked for a blog for a while. I got my first freelance client. I quit October 2020. From, I would say, January to May of 2021, I made like probably $6,000. It wasn't a lot. I can't remember. It's in my freelance video, but it wasn't a lot. But then the other half of the year it was like wild, like $10,000 months, $15,000 months. And when I left my biggest client recently, I did not plan for it. I didn't have savings specifically for leaving my job. I had very little savings because I was kind of just spending. I was spending a lot because I was just enjoying my time, my money, which I don't recommend. But I'm a spender, and I'm going to be open about that. I was spending a lot of money traveling, buying things for myself. Finally, I get to like, you know, relax and just enjoy myself. Our rent at the time in our last place was around $2,800 or something like that, and it's like a townhome, and right now we're paying around the same at this new place. But it was easier for us to have that kind of place because we had 2 incomes. My fiance was making 6 figures as well while we lived in our last place, and he recently just quit his job, and he has a video on that. You should check it out if you're into data science or entrepreneurship. He actually saved us up a lot of money, or not a lot, probably a year's worth of expenses to be able to survive in this place for an entire year. So we're kind of big on like, you don't need a lot of money to like quit and survive. Like, of course my shopping has stopped. I'm not traveling as much, and if I travel, it's on a budget. But we don't restrict ourselves too much. Like, we're basically living off of like 1 income right now, and it's not terrible. It's not that bad. A lot of the clothes I have, I've already bought. Like, I'm not buying currently that many new clothes or that many new gadgets or things like that. I am trying to leverage the gifting collabs I do as a creator to get new stuff, new skincare. So I don't really have a lot of money, and the one client I do have is only bringing in about like $1,000 a month, so it's not a lot. And currently I have like $4,000 period in my personal accounts, but I do have a business account that does have money in it, just to like keep my business going. I'm really grateful to have a fiance who's like helping and supporting us. I don't love that feeling because I've been so independent my whole life, but yeah, I'm just like planning on making more money through different collaborations, and also I feel like the more content I put out there, the more opportunities come to me, and I don't think that's a coincidence. We budgeted for our monthly expenses to be around $5K each month for the 2 of us, like including everything. Right now I only pay my bills, like my personal bills, like my car, my insurance, my car insurance, and then like my health, and I don't have like health insurance, but I have like vision and dental, like a few other things, like maybe like Google storage or Apple storage or something like that, and then he pays for the rest, like groceries, the house, basically everything else, like travel, anything else we do. So that's kind of what we're living off of. And I'm gonna be honest, like when I had more money, I did not feel that much happier. I just feel really blessed to be in the situation I am in right now. And I'm not saying everybody is going to be in this situation, but there are things, if you get creative enough to survive and take your wants and desires seriously, there are ways you can make sure that you survive and you have a little bit of leeway. And I think a lot of people are uncomfortable with that. They don't want to sit in like uncertainty for too long, and I didn't either. But like going from making $0 a month in like the end of 2020 to making $10,000 to $15,000 a month like in 6 months showed me that money is just a flow. It's just gonna come and go. It's not something you need to hoard on to. Like, have your savings and whatever, but like it's not something you need to hoard or feel scarce about. Like, it'll come back. If you are doing what you're doing, you are going on the right path and you will find your way to making an income. Okay, next question that I think is burning for a lot of people, or at least I would have this question, is are you making money? Good question. I'm so glad that you asked. Yes and no. So I'm not making as much as I used to, of course. I do charge for my consulting, which is typically around like $145 an hour for general work. Like that could be anything, but a lot of people that I work with, they get packages, so it tends to be a little bit cheaper than that an hour. And I also am releasing my boot camp. I'm trying to make it really accessible for people, and it's going to be self-led. I don't know if I'm actually going to do this, but it's going to be around like no higher than like $60 or $70, like 75 minutes worth of like content, teaching, slides, and it's gonna have like worksheets and workbooks for you to like basically learn how to be a creator. So I'm gonna be releasing that pretty soon. Who knows if that will make any money. My goal is to just make a good course and practice making a course rather than make a ton of money from it. And also there's things I get from collaborations, so those could be anywhere from like $100 to like $500, and it just keeps me afloat a little bit. And then I do have my one client that's around like $1,000 a month base, but then sometimes I work overtime, and that's like for 5 hours a week. It's really low. And then for this retreat, like I'm getting paid extra, so it's not that much money coming in, but I do feel a lot more creative with my outfits. I feel more creative with my time. I feel happy. Freedom to me really is the richness. Like I feel rich in life. I have my schedule to myself. I can do what I want. And when you don't have a 9 to 5, when you don't have things like taking up your time all day, even getting like a $10 meal on with nice weather, journaling by yourself feels so much better than taking like a fancy trip to like the Maldives. Felt like whenever I was working 9 to 5, I would need to go more extravagant and like overcorrect because I wasn't having a good time Monday through Friday. But now I'm having such a good time Monday through Friday that my weekend doesn't really need to be that extravagant. Like I'm having a good time most of the time. Also feel just like rich in spirit, and like I'm getting closer to myself. I have more time to journal. Like time is really the new money. Like if you have time, you have everything. Time is money, time is happiness, time is passion, time is freedom. Like time is everything. You're thinking, I don't have enough money. Ask yourself truly, like write down, what do I need the money for? And calculate or add up how much of that money is used on things that are helping you cope with your situation rather than things that you actually need to survive. Look at everything. These are all of my underwears and my pajamas. Alrighty, so I finished packing. I'm on my way to CVS to go get me some COVID tests. I'll probably just take the test in my car, and then I'm gonna get my nails done. I finally got the test, and I also got some goodies because I'm starving. I haven't eaten a proper meal at all. So I got some beef jerky. I'm starving and I need some kind of like protein. Okay, this one has no app. Let's chat life after corporate. What does it look like? What does it really look like? And also, like, if you want to start your own thing, if you want to start your own business, how do you do it? How do you stay in the game when nothing is showing you that it's going to work out, or you're doubting yourself, or you're feeling scarcity, or you're running out of money? What do you do to keep going? The biggest thing that's helped me kind of navigate this journey and transition from 9-to-5 employee to I'm starting my own thing. I have no idea what it's going to be or how I'm going to get there or exactly how it's going to look like, but I have an idea, and that's enough. A lot of times we feel like we need more, and I don't think anyone really starts businesses with all of the details planned out, and if they do, they will be quickly humbled by reality that it's not going to work out the way you think it is. I started this business consulting in content creation and also starting my own personal brand through content creation with such exact, precise ideas of what everything's gonna look like. I was like, you know, I'm gonna develop this consulting, I'm gonna have packages, I'm gonna charge really high premium prices for a really good product, and reality just slapped me in the face. That was not the case. Now I'm over here consulting maybe 20% of the time, making content probably 80% of the time. And no, I do not want to charge people lots of money for these packages. No, I want to do a little bit more than just consult people on social media. I want to help them get to their dream, get to their authentic selves, like express themselves. Like, I'm starting to notice a shift in what I actually want to do. And you don't realize stuff like that until you actually start the journey. But the key is, you can't trust that those things won't happen, but you can trust yourself to figure it out when it does happen. There's a quote from our lovely Bezos, our #1 king. I'm totally kidding. Despite his business practices, he does have a really good quote that I love to think about, and my fiance and I talk about a lot. It's, be stubborn on the vision and flexible on the details. If you have a vision, you need to trust that it was given to you for a reason. You don't have to know how. The only way to get a clue is just to start, literally. And you're gonna have moments where you doubt yourself. I've kind of had, like I said, several mental breakdowns, and they will happen. You just have to develop a routine that helps you get back to it. Truly, and I'm realizing almost like 5 months later, truly just coming back into the game, playing again the next day, even though you failed and you lost all your points and whatever. That is the secret. There is no other secret. You don't have to be the smartest, the most skilled, the prettiest, or whatever to be a content creator, to be an entrepreneur. You just have to keep going. Just staying in the game as long as possible and creating some kind of vision and mission for yourself. You're not going to be motivated by day-to-day things. Actually, those things will not motivate you, for sure. The amount of likes you're getting, the amount of engagement you're getting, the amount of money coming into your bank account is not going to motivate you, especially in the beginning. There needs to be something deeper, a bigger picture for your life, a bigger vision. I think about my future self constantly, and that's why I want to work towards her. But if I don't think about her, then I'm going to have no reason to keep going. Also, whenever you create a vision, mission, and you have values, you start to think of it less about being like, what do I need, what do I want, and like, what does the world need? Like, what am I gonna die on a hill saying? And the only way, again, to get to any of that is to start. And there's little things you can do to start, whether that's signing up for a class, buying a course, talking to a friend about, you know, their business that you want to start too, posting your first video. Like, there's little things you can do. And also, the last thing I would say is just challenge your scarcity mindset. Like I was talking about with money and budgeting earlier, you're gonna think, I'm not gonna have enough, I can't afford this, I can't treat myself today, I can't do X, Y, and Z. And while there's like generally like, you know, don't overspend and, you know, try to save as much as you can, don't beat yourself up about the scarcity or the money. It will come if you keep going. Right now, you have to think about what I'm building is my investment. Anything I'm doing, if I need to take a break and go get a massage, like once every blue moon, go get a massage, that's an investment, if it actually is, towards your business. Because you, when you're well rested, you think better, you have clearer ideas, you're able to articulate things, you feel more like yourself. All of that stuff could, if that's the type of business you're in, affect your business. For me, taking walks, or once a month I like buy a new top or a new pair of pants or new pair of shoes, that's not something I look at as like, oh my god, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't do this X, Y, and Z. I'm not gonna go overboard because I can't afford to buy like a designer purse. But if it's like a $50 pair of shoes, I can use part of the money I'm making to afford those shoes, and I can make that pair of shoes a part of my content. And if it makes me happy and I'm excited and I show up on my content with those pair of shoes and people are like, oh my God, where'd you get it? I can link it. There's so many ways that that shoe is bringing me more benefit than taking away from me. So kind of start to see the things you want to do in your life, not from like, I can't, it's scarcity, I'm never going to be able to live life and have fun again until I am a millionaire. You don't have to think that way. You just think about how everything is an investment. If it doesn't feel like an investment, don't do it. Then I would say just try to hold back or save up for it, but don't cut yourself short, because your energy and your positivity and your optimism are going to be very important right now. I just picked up my camera and it's actually really hot, so I'm gonna let it cool off. My test is negative. I think I'm okay. I'm gonna head to the nail salon because it's 2 and I don't want to be caught in rush hour. So nails are done. I got like a clear translucent color dip powder. Just keep it simple, and I just love this color. It never fails me, and this shape. I love how these came out. They're so shiny and clean. I don't have a broken nail anymore. I'm basically packed, have my nails done. I can go back home after I do pick up these packages and stuff and just relax. I think I'm gonna wash my face, maybe shower, but I have some work to do. I need to edit all of these videos and turn them in, but I can do that in bed. But yeah, I think it's just like really nice having most of the day to myself. I feel like that's the biggest takeaway from this video, at least for me. Stuff I just checked off my to-do list. I'm so proud of myself. I'm basically almost done, but I'm gonna probably shower in the next 30 minutes. It's 6:30 and it's probably gonna take me 30 more minutes to work. Just editing those last minute videos, or like the remainder of the videos, and then I need to be in bed at least by 8. But I actually got a decent amount done. I'm proud of myself. Of course, I put a little bit of things on there like nails, but that is an accomplishment. Okay, even if it's like something small. I filmed this earlier. I'll turn the sound down. I filmed this earlier for the footwear brand. I edited that one, but I also edited another gifted collab. This one was for a beauty brand, but it's like a lip product, and it's kind of cute. It's giving like commercial. I never really do beauty stuff like this, but I kind of like the vibe. You'll see it live. I'm posting it on my page. I also have a blog on all of the things I talked about today. I have a whole blog about me quitting my job, what I learned, and then I have another blog coming out that I actually need to publish tomorrow about just kind of the philosophy I have around why we can't all live the same lives, and we should be kind of suffering and like figuring things out before we like find our peak fulfillment in a job or career. Like, it should be hard, and I think that's a good sign that you're actually getting closer to what you want to do, not what society wants you to do. My goal, my mission is to make sure everyone around me or anyone I influence feels like they can do what they want to do. They can be authentic and make profit off of it. Like, I believe in that message so much. I think following your passions, following your interests leads to not only your internal fulfillment but external things that you've always wanted. So if you're on that journey, keep going. I have some more content about this. If you ever need validation or a friend to talk to, hit me up.